We have gathered all the forces we can. The Darkspawn Horde is sure to reach the capital before us. And so we must race to Denerim as quickly as we can. The lives of many thousands hang in the balance. We must not forsake them. You have gathered an army to replace the one lost at Ostagar, Grey Warden. Let us pray that it will be enough.
Before us stands the might of the Darkspawn Horde. Gaze upon them now, but fear them not. The man beside me is a native of Ferelden, now risen to the ranks of the Grey Wardens. He is proof that glory is within reach of us all. He has survived despite the odds, and without him, none of us would be here. Today, we save Denerim. Today, we avenge the death of my brother King Kaelan. But most of all, today, we show the Grey Wardens that we remember and honor their sacrifice. For Ferelden, for the Grey Wardens!
You've managed to fight your way to the gates. We're doing better than I hoped.
That will change quickly.
Bloody nug runners are outnumbered 3-1.
What are we to do now, Riordan? You have a plan, I assume?
The army will not last long, so we need to move quickly to reach the Archdemon. I suggest taking Alistair and no more than 2 others with you into the city. Anyone you don't bring with you can remain here to prevent more Darkspawn from entering Denerim on our tails.
How are we gonna fight a flying dragon?
We're going to need to reach a high point in the city. I'm thinking the top of Fort Draken might work.
The top of... You want to draw the dragon's attention?
We have little choice, though I warn you that as soon as we engage the beast, it will call all its generals to help it. I can sense 2 generals in Denerim. You may wish to seek them out before going to Fort Draken.
I am sure that if we did slay those generals, it would stop the Darkspawn in the city from doing a lot of harm.
It may also waste resources trying to find them. The decision is up to you.
Do you know where these generals are?
Neither of them are near Fort Draken currently, but there are too many Darkspawn here to tell you more. There are already several units of our allies within the city by now. They may be able to come to your assistance if you call them, but their strength will be limited. Anyone else will need to remain here and assist in keeping more Darkspawn from coming in the gates behind us. Who will lead them?
Ogren has led men into battle before.
Fine. Let's just move into the blasted main event already.
Good. That should be sufficient. Nothing you have done has prepared you for what you face now. May the Maker watch over you.
So this is it then. All that we've been through has led up to this. Whatever happens now, to either of us, know that I am proud, infinitely proud, to have called you friend. Farewell, and may the Maker watch over you.
So, this is it.
It has been an honor to fight with you, Ogren.
Honor? Nobody's looked at me and seen honor in a long time, Warden. You took in a drunken disgrace of an Orzammar warrior. You gave me a reason to fight, and the will to keep going. You helped me find the one woman in the sodding world who might put up with me. And you helped me get past Bronca so I could have someone new. I owe you a lot, Warden. I consider it a fine honor to die for you and your cause.
The honor's mine, my friend.
Then it's sodding honor for everyone. That's war for you. Let the stone turn red from the blood of heroes. Today, I will be the warrior you taught me to be.
So the Archdemon is next, is it? Part of me is glad that it has decided to leave me here at the gate, but the other part is apprehensive. I would almost say that I feel concern for something other than myself, even maybe for a soft, squishy companion. But that would be silly, wouldn't it?
It's scandalous to even consider the notion.
I know. Please do not tell anyone. I doubt I could blush, but it would be so awkward. And, do try not to get swallowed whole. If the beast were to fly about afterwards and poop it out, irony would dictate that it would land on me. I couldn't take it. Well then, I suppose this is it. Have fun storming the castle.
Don't worry, boy. I'll be back. I promise.
Are you ready? The enemy waits. Shall we grant him the death he asks of us?
It's only fair.
Then let us bring this gift to the Archdemon. We will take the field and stand together to see our enemy fall.
So this is it? This is the end? We've come so far. It's strange knowing that all our fates will be decided in a matter of hours. I wish I could go with you.
It's less dangerous here.
I respect your decision to keep me here, even though I would have gladly stood by your side even to the death. You have been a true friend, and I will be extremely cross with you if you don't return. Be careful out there. I will see you soon.
Heading off to slay dragons without me, Fine, fine. Say hello to the Archdemon for me. He never writes anymore. It's rather distressing. And do watch your back. No getting eaten, unless you think it's really important, of course.
I just want you to know that it's been an honor fighting by your side.
I feel the same. You've been a good friend.
Let's find this Archdemon then, and kick its ass.
So we head into the city together. As it should be. Once this is done, no matter how it turns out, I will be gone. You are aware of this, yes?
Then let me thank you now for what you've done.
There is far more I might have done for you had this been another time and we been different people. Allow me to say only one thing before we go. I was foolish. This could have been so much easier, yet I cannot regret what was between us. I will always remember you, my love. Now, let us see this finally done. The Archdemon awaits.
We're counting on you, Warden!
Here they come.
It's begun.
The Maker sure gave you the gift of good timing, didn't he? There's a large group of Darkspawn approaching and the gates won't hold. We need your help.
I'll handle this. Get yourselves to safety.
All right. I only hope there is time to...
They're breaking through!
Run, all of you! Run for your lives!
Beware! A large group of Darkspawn have broken away from the battle! They're charging this way! They'll be here any minute!
Shall I send word that the gates are secured?
The Darkspawn have sensed us.
Enchantment?
You're surrounded by Darkspawn corpses. What happened here?
Enchantment!
Even more Darkspawn.
We must fight them.
have something to say, do you?
Morrigan, we're about to face the Archdemon. We have to talk about last night.
I see. Let me talk then, and you shall listen. I shall be brief. What was done had to be done. I regret it not. I shall be leaving, as I said, and so this entanglement of ours must end. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand. Why do you have to go?
Enough. To accept this would make things far easier for you. I am sorry, but this is how it must be.
And then it was over. With the Archdemon dead, the Darkspawn horde quickly crumbled. Most fled back into the deep roads. They would remain a threat in the years to come, but the blight had been ended before it had truly begun. Ferelden had been saved, and the entire kingdom rose up to joyously greet its new king. Grey Wardens stood beneath, and a new age had begun. But at what cost?
My friends, we are gathered to celebrate those responsible for our victory. Of those who stood against the Darkspawn siege of Denerim, there is one in particular who deserves commendation. The one who led the final charge against the Archdemon remains with us still, an inspiration to all he saved that day. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you the hero of Ferelden, the first Grey Warden to defeat the Blight since Garahel 4 centuries ago. My friend, it is hard to imagine how you could have aided Ferelden more. I think it only appropriate that I return the favor. Is there any boon that you might request of Ferelden's king? If it is within my power, I will grant it.
I ask that the House pay for what they did to my family.
The House are hereby stripped of their titles and fortune and will be investigated as to their involvement in the Haeva attack. Haeva itself is of course restored to your family. Namely your brother Fergus, since he was found safe and sound near the Korkari Wilds. Let it also be known that the Arling of Amaranthine, once the land of Arl Howe, is now granted to the Grey Wardens. There they can rebuild, following the example of those who went before them. What are your plans? Will you remain with the Grey Wardens?
I will for a time, though I intend to find Morrigan.
My impression was that she didn't want to be found. But I understand completely. There's a group of Ferelden citizens waiting outside to get a look at their hero. I suggest you make at least a brief appearance before they storm the gate. Just tell the guard at the door when you're ready. So, we made it. I'm impressed, aren't you? The odds were completely against one of us actually getting to the Archdemon. But of course you would make it. I knew you would. I just don't understand how you're still alive. I guess Riordan was wrong?
Morrigan saved me.
I had no idea. I suppose that makes sense. Speaking of Morrigan, do you know where she went? I'm told she vanished right after the battle. No goodbyes or anything.
I don't know where she went, but I will find her.
Good riddance, I say. At any rate, I can see Arleman giving me that look. More king stuff, I suppose. I can never wait. And if I don't get the chance some other time, thanks. For everything.
This is hardly goodbye.
You're leaving, aren't you? And I'm not. I guess we'll see how things play out. But this certainly feels like an ending. At least for now. I'll let you get to your adoring public. They want to see the hero of Ferelden, and who am I to keep them waiting?
It is over. I can barely believe it. You stopped the Civil War and then defeated the Blight. On behalf of Ferelden, allow me to say thank you. It truly cannot be said enough.
I'm a Grey Warden. That's what we do.
So I'm learning. It's too bad that you aren't remaining here in the capital. The hero of Ferelden would have influence, but I understand. Myself, I will be remaining here to help Alistair. Tegan will take over the rule of Redcliffe, at least for the time being. Connor seems well enough, and Isolde refuses to speak of what happened. She says she never wants to go back. I cannot thank you enough for saving them. They are the joy of my existence. Tell me, have you noticed anything strange about the lad? He seems quiet.
Consider what he's been through.
You are no doubt correct. It is my imagination, I am sure. But here I am rambling on. I shall let you get back to your celebration, Warden. Enjoy it while you can.
When I heard that my little brother was not only a Grey Warden, but also leading Ferelden into battle, I was surprised, to put it mildly. Father, he would have been so proud of you. I know I am. You've done good.
I'm so sorry about Oren and Oriana.
Yes, I'm trying not to think too much about them. Hal was a greedy, traitorous bastard. I just wish I'd been there to help you kill him. At least Amaranthine now belongs to the Grey Wardens. There's some justice in that, I think. I need to go back to Haeva. See if I can clean up the mess Hal made of it. I will see you soon, I hope.
Of course you will.
Good. Haeva won't be the same without everyone around. Take care of yourself, you hear? Or I'll find you and nag you like Mother did until you're ready to tear out your hair.
So here we are. The conquering hero has won the day, and now he takes his bow and exits the stage. A fine ending.
But what about Morrigan? Does the hero get his girl?
I don't know. I haven't read that part yet, have I? You'll have to tell me.
Yeah, the hero always gets the girl.
Oh, is that how it is? You know, I can't help now but think of my vision. The Maker sent me to help you, and look what you did. It's a miracle. It truly is. I've been asked by the Chantry to return to the Urn of Sacred Ashes. I need to make sure it's protected. Maybe pilgrims can even begin going there again.
Congratulations. Sounds like fun.
I expect to leave a month from now with a small army of Templars and priests. It will be a grand adventure of my very own. I'm looking forward to it. At any rate, you should get back to the celebration. We can speak another time.
I will be relieved when all this pomp and ceremony is done. Such events are perfect opportunities for assassins, after all. I can't help but expect the crows to appear at any moment, which would be a welcome break, mind you.
You think the crows will still come after you?
Eventually. With Taliesin dead, it may take them time to figure out what has happened, but they are like the tides, predictable. You know, it does occur to me that staying in one place is only going to invite the crows to find me that much quicker, while fun, that might eventually get complicated. You said earlier that you are planning on leaving soon. Is that true?
Why? You want to come along?
You tend to get up to interesting things. You meet interesting people and then you kill them. I'm game to tag along if you are.
I'd be happy for the company.
And I promise not to get you into too much trouble. Well, no more than you get me into, anyhow. Well then, since we're going to be leaving together, we can speak after you have been sufficiently paraded in front of the populace. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on you and make sure no one gets a clear shot. Not without paying me a great deal of coin, anyhow.
The hero of Ferelden. My. How does it feel?
They could have thought up a better name.
Alistair's idea, I understand. Which should explain much. But it's not so bad, is it? A blight defeated with the other nations barely becoming aware. Who could ask for better?
I didn't do it on my own.
I don't think many heroes ever do. I'm glad not to be on the receiving end of all this attention myself. I say, let the young have their fame. Not that I've gone without notice. Irving asked me to take over as first enchanter, but I don't wish to go back. Not after all this. Instead, I've decided to travel. Shale has expressed a desire to go to Deventer to look into a way to regain her mortality. And I will join her.
She wants to regain her mortality? We talking about the same Shale?
It seems that a creature of flesh impressed her enough that she is willing to discard her notions about them being frail and disgusting. I wonder who. At any rate, I offered to bring her before the Tevinter mages. Their lore is considerable, and I've always wanted to travel to Minrath Ruse. I doubt we will meet again, young man. If not, please accept my best wishes.
Humans have a better taste for spirits than I thought. The ale up here is actually good. Orzammar ale tastes like dirt in comparison. Probably because they put dirt in it. Go figure.
Does that mean you're staying here?
For now. They may have already branded me a surfacer back home anyhow. I'm getting used to that big sky up there. And I'm thinking I might just look up Felsi again. See where that goes.
That's uncharacteristically optimistic of you.
Yeah, well, you know me. I'm all about the cheery, romantic optimism. Well, enough babbling. That pot-bellied son of a whore Tegan said I'd pass out before drinking an entire barrel of pickle juice. I aim to prove him wrong.
Don't ever change.
Who, me? It's been good traveling with you, Warden. Don't get lost in the shuffle now.
It is good to see you again, Kadan. These people, they call you hero. It is a strange word, but I think I understand its meaning. The Arishok on occasion has declared a Kunari to be Kunoran Vel, one who serves as an example to others. Such examples are always made after their death, however, a death in service to the Kun. A living Kunoran Vel would be too proud.
Do the Kunari celebrate and put on parades?
When a Kunoran Vel is declared, certainly. It is one of few occasions when the Kunari are permitted to engage in revelry.
There is imbibing of spirits, public chanting, meditations abandoned. It is madness.
Don't you ever smile?
I am smiling. I suppose I should tell you. I have decided to return to my people. Your quest is done, and thus so is my reason for accompanying you.
And I was just starting to get used to you.
And I to you, strangely enough. It must be said. You found my sword and gave me a chance to restore my honor. I owe you a great debt.
You helped me as well. It's been good.
It has. That one of the Baz, a foreigner, would become known as Kadan to me. Unthinkable. Yet here it is. Perhaps I shall see you again one day. Until then, may you always find the path you seek. Farewell, Kadan.
Are you ready, my lord? The crowds outside are getting restless.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's go.
Right. I'll take you there now. Follow me.
In the months that followed his coronation, Alistair proved to be a popular king, if largely unwilling to involve himself in matters of governing. He traveled often, making appearances in towns throughout Ferelden to the great delight of the commoners. They referred to him as a king with the common touch, even if a few knew it was a simple aversion to life at court. Rumors that the Urn of Sacred Ashes had been found, and that it was used to heal Arl Eamon of his poisoning, circulated in Ferelden in the months following the Darkspawn defeat, slowly at first and then with growing frequency as the Grand Cleric failed to deny them. Once the Chantry made several attempts to verify the rumors, however, there came an official decree that no resting place for the ashes had been found. If the Urn of Sacred Ashes was in those ruins once, it was no longer. Following months of effort, the Tower of the Circle of Magi was finally cleansed of the last spirits to slip through the veil. No further abominations were created, and First Enchanter Irving was pleased to declare the circle safe. All that could be saved had been. With the slavers shut down in the alienage, the lot of the city-born elves improved for a time. The new king even named the local elder to his personal court, a scandal among the humans, but a sign of new hope to the elves. Shiani continued to be an outspoken member of the alienage community, and in time became the new elder. That outspokenness earned her frequent trouble, but served her people well. Arl Eamon remained in Denerim for some time, acting as the Chancellor and Chief Advisor to King Alistair. Tegan ruled over Redcliffe in his stead, and was surprised to find himself well loved by the villagers, who were still grateful for the nights he spent defending their lives. In time, Eamon abdicated in favor of his brother, an event the locals greeted with approval and enthusiasm. The Dalish elves prospered after the siege at Denerim, having earned much respect for their part in the battle. For once, human lands welcomed the wandering folk. The new keeper Lanaya was respected both amongst the Dalish as well as in the Ferelden court. She was a voice of reason, and other Dalish clans would turn to her to help resolve disputes with human folk. In time, many of the Dalish clans moved to the new land provided for them in the south near Ostagar. Wary of their human neighbors, however, tensions soon rose again, and only Keeper Lanaya's leadership kept peace alive. In Orzammar, King Balin quickly proved himself a reformer. Trade with the surface lands increased, and caste restrictions were loosened. The casteless were permitted to take arms against the Darkspawn in exchange for new freedoms. For the first time in generations, the line of the Deep Roads was pushed back, and a few taigs were reclaimed. Balin's reforms quickly found him enemies within the warrior and noble castes, however, and after several assassination attempts, the assembly was dissolved. The king then ruled alone. Some said as a tyrant, others said as a visionary, determined to drag Orzammar into the modern world. The dwarven mage Dagna ultimately completed her studies at the rebuilt Circle Tower on the surface. Eventually, she published a comprehensive theory of how lyrium vapors relate to the supply of magic. It gained a great deal of attention. This inspired mages from other parts of Thedas to establish a new Circle of Magi in Orzammar itself, one that had ready access to dwarven lyrium and lies outside the Chantry's power completely. The willingness of Orzammar to harbor apostates sparked outrage that began whispers that the Divine was contemplating a new exalted march. Although the Anvil of the Void was destroyed, rumors about its location crept into Orzammar. Years later, thanks to the defeat of Darkspawn on the surface, a few determined smiths managed to locate the Anvil's remains. They examined the ruins of the Anvil, and upon returning to Orzammar with their findings, convinced the Shaperate to attempt to recreate Caridin's research. A new golem was created, bound with a spirit taken from the Fade. The golem immediately went insane, killing several Shapers before it was destroyed. The research was branded excessively dangerous and sealed away. Whispers of its existence circulated throughout Orzammar, however, and demand among the Smith caste to reopen Caridin's research refused to abate. As good as her word, Morrigan disappeared once the archdemon was slain. Someone of Morrigan's description was seen traveling alone months later, heading west through the Frostback Mountains, and she may even have been with child. The ring that Morrigan gave Julian remained in his possession. She had once claimed that it formed a connection between the two, and there came a night when he was sure that she was thinking of him, somewhere. She felt regret and sorrow, but the ring told no more. There was no word of her after that. With Flemeth dead, or at least gone, the chances of tracking her down were slim indeed. One cannot help but wonder, however, what became of the child? What were Morrigan's plans? These questions must remain a mystery, for now. Both Julian and the companions who helped defeat the Blight eventually scattered to the Four Winds, drawn either by personal duty or the call to further adventure. Circumstance dictated that they would not see each other again, at least for a time. As the blighted lands began to heal and the Grey Wardens slowly rebuilt the Order in Amaranthine, they discovered that the fight against the Darkspawn was not yet complete. Although the Horde was routed and had dissolved upon the Archdemon's death, many of the more powerful Darkspawn survived to organize roving warbands that preyed both upon the land and upon each other. These warbands spread havoc, and some even journeyed west into Orlais or crossed the Shining Sea by the deep roads. They proved incredibly difficult to wipe out. But these are tales yet to be told. This tale ended when Julian sank his blade in the Archdemon's head and destroyed it forever. It was not the last that Ferelden would hear of him, however.